Okay. Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right. I mean, why would I even... But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Well, again, you can know of somebody without knowing them, but whatever. Sneeze, that is the answer. Well, Mr. Wright? No, it wasn't me. I'm not a killer, I swear. Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe? Well, you know, do you mean he wanted to be British? Or he is British and also a wannabe? I'm not sure. Okay. So, he wasn't British? He acted like it? Is that what I'm getting here? Did you see it at the crime scene? The Union Jack, I mean? Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured you must love British stuff, see? What the fuck? It's true, cross my heart. I swear I didn't do it. You are like the most suspicious witness I've ever seen. Poor guy. He's acting fishier than the salmon I ate last night. Yeah. May I ask you something, Miss Fay? He took his experience in this situation and used it to his advantage when he became an attorney. I can only imagine, because he did such a bad job as a witness that he had to really hamper down. Oh, Judge. Oh, Judge. Of course. The Union Jack is the name of the flag of England.
Oh, I see. So you mean like the Stars and Stripes, right?
As usual, Your Honor, your insight astounds me. Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bit just now? Most of it.
Mia, there is a contradiction here.
Mr. Grossberg.
Quickly now, show that boy you mean business. With evidence, I mean.
Okay, Mia, check the court record carefully.
Well, my dear, do you think you can manage on your own from this point?
I got it, bitch. 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. I can do it. I can handle this myself.
You mustn't try to bite off more than you can chew, Mia.
I'll be fine. I know what I have to do.
Remember, you can always press him to get more information. One more thing. When you're going to state a contradiction, make sure you present some definitive proof.
Okay, Mia, one more time from the very beginning of his testimony.
Okay, I guess I'm presenting a thing. The Union Jack is the new statement. Let's look at what I have. Didn't he say it was on his back? Let's check. Yeah, on the back of his shirt. And then there's nothing on the back of his shirt, you murderer. Objection.
Are you certain you saw the Union Jack?
Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back. Mr. Fay, is there some point to this line of questioning?
Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. Excuse me. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing written on the victim's back. I think you should probably say drawn. But okay. Hey, wait a minute. He's wearing a leather jacket. The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. What? Either you're lying, or somebody put a leather jacket on him after he died. I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But even when Phoenix found him in the cutscene, he was wearing the jacket. That was really the case, and you wouldn't know that, would you? You'd have no idea at all. Her hand is really big. What he was wearing underneath that jacket. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. I would assume this guy was guilty if he was not Phoenix Wright. Please forgive me. Oh, Jesus, man.
Mia, you've made our client cry. Let him.
Let him. That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyways. It stands for pussy. I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong. That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear that this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime. Uh-oh. Did I go too far?
By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it?
Yeah, I took some, but
was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X.
Yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How did you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X? Sounds like a wrestler.
Hee 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 hee. Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now?
Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. Uh-oh. You lost it. Does this even have anything to do with the case?
Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now?
Huh?
Your Honor, I'd like you to take a look at another photo from the crime scene.
What's this? In the victim's hand. It's Cold Killer X.
Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belonged to, especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints were all over it.
What?
Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine, dropped by Mr. Wright, and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as Phoenix Wright.
Order in the court.
Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence.
Very well. The court will accept them into the record.
Great.
Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken.
Broken?
Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all of this?
This is really bad.
Oh, my...
Excuse me?
Oh, my buttocks! My poor hemorrhoids!
We wouldn't want to upset Grossberg's buttocks. The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3, we split up. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days, but I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident.
Mr. Wright, that's completely different from the testimony you previously gave.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth.
You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible.
Miss Fay, please begin your cross-examination.
Oh, please, Mr. Wright, don't tell any more lies. All right, let's press it all. He called you. Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never. But that day, he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly.
And this Dolly person is...
it's kind of embarrassing. She's my, sweetheart.
What was that for, Mia?
What? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like... What the fuck? What the hell just happened? What? Has Mia had some bad experiences with a lover? Maybe that's what the other case was about. Oh shit. Maybe we'll get into that later. That's weird. That was very strange.
Dahlia Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim, Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is.
So it was one of those nasty love triangles, I see.
Well, no, because it was at different times. Would have made more sense if he killed Phoenix for taking his girlfriend, you know? Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45? Yeah, and we were both there right on time.
You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct?
Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU. What if he made you a special batch of Cold Killer X to Cold Killer X you? To kill you, you know, I mean, kill you. Okay.
An alchemist, I see. Well, this changes everything.
I gotta admit it was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything.
You see, I've read manga about alchemists, and I know what they can do.
Whoa.
Oh, how fascinating. He sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man.
What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for some more details. That one. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. That's right, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high-voltage cables everywhere. High-voltage cables? Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high-voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. Okay. So what was it you were talking about? You know, that maybe we should hang out again sometime? Hang out again sometime? I wish that were true. Alright, that was a terrible lie. So you say you went back? Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Well, that's right, I was. Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there? I thought maybe we could make up? Okay. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this. I'd been okay. That. Press it. It's rather unusual to catch a cold this time of the year, isn't it? I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh? I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals, so I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. Okay. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious. Okay. She keeps slapping. What the fuck? She's totally got some bad past with a person, I guess.
I think that's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason.
I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either.
Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted.
Thank you, Frank. What do you mean?
I knew it was too much work for a little girl.
Huh.
However, there is one mystery that still remains.
There is, Your Honor?
How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted?
Phone? The first case of the new LP? The first case? You're gonna ring? Well then, I'm not stopping for you.
I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct?
Well, that is... You are correct, Your Honor.
So clearly it was either an accident, or it was Dahlia, because she's the only other character, but I feel like it was just some kind of accident, or like some weird thing.
So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed?
We gotta meet this Dahlia girl at some point. If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. Okay. I don't think I can do that right now, but I'll give it a shot. Your Honor?
Yes, Miss Fay?
I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, maybe we won't even meet Dahlia in this case. Maybe we'll meet her in the future. And this is to introduce us to her. Maybe that's really the point of this case, so we can meet her 5 years later. That'd be cool. We should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died.
That would be most impressive.
Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence.
Huh, of course I know that. Actually, I had totally forgotten about that. You were a lot like Phoenix, I see. Just kind of saying stuff without thinking about it.
Show me how you believe that. Oh, fuck.
Well, you see,
The thing is,
you know, turns out, well, you know, I guess I was supposed to choose. No, I guess I was supposed to say that I can't do it right now. I want to say this. That's the only thing I can possibly think to present, but I guess I was supposed to say no. I didn't think they'd make me say no in the very first case. I thought it'd be a simple one, where I'm just like, I'm supposed to say yes to everything, and it'd be really easy.
I'm disappointed as well, Miss Faye.
to be honest, I'm a bit disappointed too, Mia.
I need to use my brain on this. Come on, Mia. You can't strike out here.
Now then, Miss Faye, let me see what you've got.
I can't. Oh, so am I on the right track? It didn't take away any of my health, and it's not letting me get out of this and go back and choose no. So I can't get a game over, and I can't go choose the other choice. So apparently I did make the right choice, I guess. But I just had to pick something else. Alright, I don't think a profile is correct. I didn't even think of looking at the pictures because I just assumed that I had made the wrong choice. I mean, you've clearly got the thing. The phone line, cable thing, whatever. I assumed that was just immediately obvious, so I didn't really think I needed to say anything about it.
But there is nothing that even remotely resembles it.
You see, that's exactly why I didn't think of this immediately. Because, in all honesty, I'm not as stupid as people like the judge. This is the shit that happens. The things that I see that are immediately obvious, like that, and they don't immediately address them, I then forget about them, and I think, okay, well, I guess that's not going to be relevant anytime soon, since nobody immediately brought it up, since any rational person would immediately bring that up, but nobody did, so I didn't think about it either, once it came time to present something.
I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail.
Jesus Christ. The judge, fucking Frank Graybeard, that's his name from now on, is the dumbest motherfucker. Here is electricity, you see? Look at it. Well, naturally, it's right here.
That's... What is that?
A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we've heard? The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high-voltage cables strung up everywhere. Yep.
So then the high-voltage cable.
Yes, the high-voltage cable is the cause of death, as was clear in the very first picture we presented 30 minutes ago. I don't know why it took half an hour to say it, but it did. What else was it that was like that? Wasn't it Turnabout Big Top? I think so. It was something in Turnabout Big Top that was like obvious at the very beginning, and it took them like an hour to get to it. I was like, come on! And like by the time they got to it, I wasn't even thinking about it anymore.
Well, I believe some praise is in order.
Don't toy with me, old man. Because I'm always thinking about everything when I play these games. I'm like always thinking about all the different aspects all the time. So I'm never on the exact same page as the characters, like thinking about exactly what they're thinking about. Because I'm always just trying to think about everything, and that gets me confused.
However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon.
Who says it had to be fucking used as a weapon? Could have just snapped.
The defendant.
That much is certainly true.
Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer.
You do? Well, what is it?
His fingerprints.
Fingerprints? What are those? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well.
Ah, you mean...
Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand.
What?
I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that.
Oh, because that's the only time you would ever touch somebody with your palm if you're gonna kill them.